I said 1 second. I wasn't kidding. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the program. Pat and Ryan, we got a little behind. My apologies for that. We were having a really good conversation about Direct Mail 2.0, and it sort of got a little off the rails there. I don't know if you were here for the last session, Pat, but I gave you a shout out because I started making car analogies, and I thought you would appreciate that. But right now, I want to introduce Pat McGrew. She is the managing director. Is that what you call yourself? The managing director of the McGrew Group. And Ryan, the founder of Pixel Dot Productions. Is that
Ryan McAbee is Pixel Dot Consulting? Yes, he is.
Consulting. My apologies. I have the wrong screen up with the titles. My apologies. The reason we're coming here together is today, besides the fact that I'm big fans of obviously Pat McGrew and Ryan, you and I go back to the first trade show I was ever at when you were working at Heidelberg, and we met in person. Ryan was also the first person who ever mentioned Print Media Center, me, or anybody in a blog. And I was like, oh my God, someone's talking about me. That was so. I do have a long relationship with both of these people, but the reason why they are here is because they are solving a significant knowledge gap in the printing industry. And Pat, if you can explain how the Print University came about, and you guys can just start just share with everybody some of the offerings and some of the opportunities that you really are presenting.
Sure, Deb. We started, Ryan and I have worked together for years, and at our last outpost together, we were at Keypoint Intelligence, and we were trying to pitch this idea to that market research organization that there was this desperate need in the print industry for sort of not even print 101, print 001, right? What are the words? What's the terminology? Because the challenge when new people go into a print shop who are not born and raised in the print industry is that they don't even know what words to use. And when you try and train them on new equipment, new software, new processes, it's hard for them to absorb if they don't even understand the words you're using to try and train them. Unfortunately, our management didn't think that we were onto something. So we kind of backed off a little bit, and then COVID hit, and we found ourselves with our own companies. And after working together on a number of projects, we kind of looked at each other one morning and said, this is silly. We should just do this. So we spent all of 2022 developing a video library to walk through all of the elements that go into print shops. And we tried to be egalitarian about it, right? We didn't want to just talk about commercial. We didn't just want to talk about transaction. We didn't want to just talk about, what a DM shop or a wide format shop looked like. We really want to talk about all of it. So we started to build our curriculum based on the common denominator of providing the words and the terminology and the processes to someone who was fundamentally new to the print industry. Somebody who, maybe the best that they'd ever done was walk into a Kinko's and bought some print, but they really didn't understand what happened behind the counter. And so over the course of 2022, we built out a library of over 50 episodes, and we were also talking to a lot of print industry associations during that time. We were talking to a lot of printers and a lot of vendors during that time who kept telling us that, yeah, we keep hiring people and they don't know any of these words. We say imposition and they think we're being mean to them. That we say nesting and they think there's a bird in the tree outside of the office window. They don't understand any of these terms. So out of 2022, we got to the end of the year and we had our big library, and we went two directions kind of at the same time. We created the printuniversity.com. Anybody can come there and buy a monthly subscription and go through the curriculum that's posted there. and learn, right? And we were actually talking to a VP at a major vendor at Printing United, and we found out that she came from another manufacturing industry, had no idea what happened in print, and she used it so that she could have conversations with the people she now manages. So we know that it gets used by people from, the temps coming in the door all the way through to the VPs in major vendors. But at the same time, we also developed a licensing strategy, and we license to industry associations, to vendors, to larger printers, to make actually a larger library available. So there is a little bit of a difference between the customer experience if you do the monthly subscription via the website or versus licensing, because when you license, we actually offer market updates every quarter, and we offer the opportunity to influence our library. So since 2022, when we launched, we made a commitment that we would post new content into the library every single month. And that's what we've been doing. And we already know what our curriculum posting will be for 2024. We try to get ahead of it a little bit. In fact, Ryan and I, we had planned to record a whole episode at Printing United. It never happened. We were just a little too busy. So we've got a whole new one on ink and what you need to know about ink that's going into the library shortly. So that's kind of the whole story. It was basically born out of what people kept telling us they wanted, and our annoyance that no one was willing to fund it. So we decided to just do it.
Yeah. Welcome to my world, Pat. I can't, it's very hard to get things funded that don't to certain companies that don't say, well, how did this lead to me selling this thing? And I'm like, well, do you want people working in the printing industry? Do you want people using your, not the printers, but do you want like customers using printing presses? There's a longer tail here. So,
and honestly, it was the same story that Trish and Vicky and Danielle told you about why they did their MarketWise Academy. It's basically, you keep hoping that somebody's going to recognize the value proposition for the education, and then they don't. And eventually you just get so annoyed that you just do it. And that Ryan and I got annoyed enough that we decided to do it.
Yeah. The other thing is that, and it's just a fact of life. People are concerned about their own stuff. So I'm going to educate people on what I do, and I'm going to hire people for what I do, and I'm going to do this for what I do. And it's okay, great, but that's not lifting the industry, which is what you guys are doing. So Ryan, the title of this session is Operate, Print, and Hire Smarter. How is the Print University addressing those three topics?
Well, first of all, I like where the conversation was headed, because the industry needs tiers or levels of education. It's not one solution fits all. So where we come in with the Print University is at that foundational level, where it's someone that is coming into the industry from some other industry, which Pat gave a great example of that. It could be straight out of school in some capacity, whether that's just out of high school or some kind of higher ed, or it could be someone that's just being recruited and hired by a printing company. So all of these people find their way in and need a basic foundational level of knowledge about how the printing technology works, literally how a print shop operates internally. What are the different departments? Who are the different people in those departments? What do those people do on a day-to-day basis? So this is the kind of material that we cover on the Print University side. And then you can get into those kind of more advanced educational levels with something like what Trish and Daniel and the group
and Vicky
that was on, yes, and Vicky, thank you, that was on earlier. And so we need multiple levels, but how you do it is kind of get to the smarter point. Is we took a fundamental approach that said, we're just going to build the content, and then we'll let you distribute it however that makes sense for you. So if you have a group of one as a printer, perfect. Go to our website, theprintuniversity.com, click the subscribe button. You're signed up immediately. If you have a group of 50, that's fine. If you have a group of 500, that's fine. We have it to fit every kind of model here, and affordable. That was the other big goal that we had as we set out to do this, is because we know that, you know, it's more about getting you to the point of productivity as an employee, and being able to hit the ground running. So that's really what it was. And there's some interesting, you know, facts out there that I think Daniel was speaking to this, and maybe some others on the previous call, but literally managers spend on average 12 minutes a month training new hires. I mean, that's just not going to cut it. So it needs to be augmented and supplemented with other things. And that's where kind of the Print University came in.
Yeah. And I mean, there's less money, there's less people, there's less time, which means that companies aren't investing in educating their workers anymore in many ways. And if you want to go up that ladder or go on that lattice and go up somewhere else in your career, this is an opportunity for you to take it upon yourself to educate yourself and learn something new. And I love what you said about that example that you shared, Pat, because that is exactly the story I told earlier with Frank Romano and the Pocket Pal. When that was given to me, I was like, oh my God, I had no idea what was going on in advertising. I was terrified to ask anybody any questions, but I had this resource that I could tap into, that I could at least have a conversation or open a conversation and not be like, so what is that? You know, I could start past that and ask.
It gave you the words.
Ask a more intelligent question. Yes. I truly, truly, truly appreciate what I would call as a service to the industry. I do apologize. I got a little behind before, and I need to catch up because I have a live event from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I know you do. I know you do.
But I want you to just wrap it up, Ryan. They could probably scan your QR code, but you guys have an article and an ad in our program where people can scan and get information. And all of your LinkedIn and the website has been put into the chat. But Pat, why don't you give it the good old McGrew wrap up? And before you do that, I just want to say an International Print Day congratulations to new grandma, Pat McGrew, and to Jonathan McGrew, father of two beautiful babies, River and Forrest, please.
And I'm laughing because I can see Andrew Shaw, and he's laughing because I was with him literally right before they were born. Hey, look, what I want to tell you is, look, remember that 36% of the U.S. printing industry is above 55 years old. You don't have a lot of time to get people trained. We got to get people in. We got to get them to understand the words, and we need them to understand how to grow in our industry. And Andrew and the Graphic Media Alliance are one of our licensees, and God bless them, they are running with it because them and their members are using the heck out of that university library to help educate their folks. And we really appreciate them as one of our first licensees and people who have absolutely run with it. What we would encourage anyone to do is go to theprintuniversity.com, take a tour around. There are some demo episodes. Have a blast. If you have any questions at all, Ryan and I are the easiest people on earth to find. You can find us on LinkedIn. You can send a note through the printuniversity.com. Or if all else fails, ping Deb. She'll tell you how to find us.
Absolutely. I am also easy to find out there in the Printiverse. Pat, Ryan, thank you so much for everything that you are doing for the industry and for individuals to take ownership of their own career paths and not have to get permission for it because it is affordable for everybody. So thank you so much. We will be right back with live from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How freaking cool is that?